Hello students, great morning to all of you. I am Neeraj sir. We are going to start acid, bases and salts part 2. We have already studied definition of acid and some properties of acid, ionic compounds, etc. in the previous video. Today we are going to start our next topic, that is bases, types of bases, and we have to see some theories related to acids and bases. So let us start. So students, let us start our next topic, that is base. So what is base? Base is any substance which is turning red litmus to blue. We have seen in the previous class. And also base is turning pink in phenolphthalein indicator. So we have seen about indicators in the previous class. But there are many more properties of base, like base is having pH greater than 7. If pH is less than 7, then it is acid. If pH is greater than 7, then it is a base, and if pH value is exactly 7, then it is neutral substance. So full form of pH is potential of hydrogen or power of hydrogen. We are going to see about pH in the next few slides in detail. Now bases are having soapy touch, that's why they feel slippery, and the bases can dissolve fats and oils, that's why they are used for making soaps, because you know that soaps are nothing but the sodium or potassium salt of fatty acids. So these fats can react with NaOH or KOH to give sodium or potassium salt of fatty acids, that is nothing but soaps. So here bases can usually form OH minus ions in solution. So not all the bases, but most of the bases are forming OH minus ions in solution. And always remember that bases are having opposite property, that of acids. That's why they are used to neutralize acids. So they are showing neutralization reaction with acids. So whenever acid and base react with each other, they form salt and water. That is nothing but a neutralization reaction. Students, we have discussed some information about bases. Now let us see types of bases. Now let us see weak bases versus strong bases. So weak bases are those which are producing very less number of OH minus ions in aqueous solution. OH minus, that is hydroxide ions. So these OH minus ions are produced in very less amount in weak bases. When weak bases are dissolved in water, they produce very less OH minus ion. And when strong bases are dissolved in water, they are producing a lot of OH minus ion. Means their OH minus ions are more. So that's why these two categories are given. So some conditions weak bases are required, some conditions strong bases are required. So we should know which are weak bases and which are strong bases. So here you can see examples of weak bases: ammonia, potassium carbonate, sodium carbonate, and strong bases are sodium hydroxide, sodium phosphate, barium hydroxide, etc. So bases are not always containing OH minus ions, but most of the bases are containing OH minus ions. So in simple words, you can say weak bases are ionizing in very less quantity and strong bases are ionizing in more quantity. Means ionization is more in strong bases and ionization is weak, or you can say less, in weak bases. And ionization is simply nothing but formation of ions, that is positive and negative ions, whenever they are dissolved in water. Now I hope you have understood up to this. Now let us see some common bases used in our day-to-day life. So this NaOH, sodium hydroxide, which is a very strong base, which is having pH value nearly 12 to 14. So it is used for making soap and drain cleaner. And some bases are used as an antacid when we feel acidity. You can you can notice many times your parents or your grandparents or many of us also feels some sensation in near our chest area. So that is nothing but acidity. When excess of acid is created in our stomach, it bounces to our organs, and you can say it harms to our internal organs. It is known as acidity. So this acidity can be cleared or can be treated by adding by taking basic medicines like magnesium hydroxide, which is known as antacids, or milk of magnesia, and also you can see ENO and many other substances. So these antacids are given to persons who are suffering from acidity problem. So this aluminum hydroxide is also antacids, and deodorants. Aluminum hydroxide is also used for deodorants. So these are some common bases which are used, and one more, you can say baking soda is also base, sodium bicarbonate, etc. So these basic substances are also very important, as we have seen some important acids. In the same way, bases are also having various importance in various field. You can see NH4OH, it is also important. Ammonia, so ammonia is used for various precipitation reactions in chemistry labs, and also this ammonia is used in industries for various purpose. Theories of acids and bases. Various scientists have given various definitions for acids and bases, and all these theories or definitions are having importance. So let us see some of them. So the Swedish scientist Arrhenius put forth a theory of acids and bases in the year 1887. This theory gives the definitions of acids and bases as follows. An acid is a substance which on dissolving in water gives rise to H plus ion as the only cation. For example, HCl, H2SO4, H2CO3, etc. So here, in simple words, you can say an acid is any substance which produces hydrogen ions or H plus ions whenever it is dissolved in water. So here I have written in short for your proper understanding. In the same way, he has given other definition for base. A base is a substance which on dissolving in water give rise to OH minus ion as the only anion. For example, NaOH and calcium hydroxide, that is CaOH twice. So here also, in simple words, for keeping in mind, you can say Arrhenius base is a base which produce hydroxide ion whenever it is dissolved in water. Hydroxide ions means what? Hydroxide ions means OH minus ions, and hydrogen ions means H plus ion. You can see examples of Arrhenius bases in this slide, that is NaOH, KOH, calcium hydroxide, that is CaOH twice, etc. So these definitions given by Arrhenius is based on the concept of dissociation of acids and bases. So dissociation of acids and bases in water. So he has used concept of dissociation of acids and bases in water to define acids and bases. So I hope you have understood this definition. This is very simple. Now let us move towards the other theory. So students, let us see other theory of acids and bases. So other theory is Bronsted-Lowry theory. So this Bronsted-Lowry theory is not in your syllabus, still you should know it, so we will discuss it. So according to Bronsted-Lowry, an acid is a substance which donates hydrogen ion in a reaction. So Arrhenius has only told about the production of hydrogen ions, but according to Bronsted-Lowry, acid is donating hydrogen ion. Donating hydrogen ion in a chemical reaction. So Arrhenius has not used the word of chemical reaction, and also Arrhenius has not used the word donation. According to Arrhenius, only acid is a substance which produces H plus ions, but according to Bronsted-Lowry, acid is a substance which is donating a hydrogen ion in a reaction, and according to Bronsted-Lowry, base is a substance which accepts hydrogen ion in a chemical reaction. So this is about the Bronsted-Lowry theory. So dear students, let us see our next topic, that is basicity and acidity. So this is new concept for you, so you might get confused at one time, so you can watch the video again and again to understand it properly. So you should know two main things: basicity of acid and acidity of bases. So these words might be confusing to you, but this is not that much difficult. It is very simple. So let us understand basicity of acids. So you can see in the chart, in this way, various acids are having various number of hydrogen ions. As you can see, in HCl only one hydrogen ion is there. HCl means one hydrogen, one Cl. Here you can see H2SO4. Here there are two hydrogen, because in the molecular formula itself you can see H2SO4 means two hydrogens are there. Here three hydrogens are there. In this way, different acids are having different capacity to donate its hydrogen ions. So that's why this basicity of acids is introduced. So the number of hydrogen ions obtainable by dissociation of one molecule of an acid is called its basicity. So here you can see in HCl only one hydrogen can be obtained, that's why its basicity is 1. Here H2SO4, here 2H plus ion can be obtained, that's why basicity of this sulfuric acid is 2. Here you can see boric acid, here you can see H3BO3. So here 3 hydrogens can be obtained, so basicity of this is 3. In the same way, acetic acid CH3COOH, here you can see there are 4 hydrogen, but these all hydrogens cannot be obtained, only single hydrogen is obtained. Because if you see the dissociation of acetic acid, it is dissociated like this: CH3COO minus plus H plus. So these remaining 3 hydrogens are part of this group. Only single hydrogen is obtained. So that's why acetic acid is having only one basicity. In the same way, we have to see acidity of bases. So acidity of bases is nothing but number of OH minus ions obtained from one molecule. You can see NaOH can give only one OH minus because it is having only single OH minus. So acidity of NaOH is 1. In the same way, acidity of calcium hydroxide is 2 because it is having 2 OH minus radical. That's why acidity of calcium hydroxide is 2. In aluminum hydroxide, you can see 3 OH radicals are there. That's why acidity of base, that is this base is 3. Here you can see NH4OH, only single OH is there, that's why its acidity is 1. So different bases are having different acidity according to number of OH minus ions in it. So we can define acidity of bases like this: the number of OH minus ions obtainable by the dissociation of one molecule of a base is called its acidity. So understood? Basicity of acid is number of hydrogen obtained from one molecule, and acidity of bases is number of OH minus ions obtainable from one molecule. So this is very simple concept. I hope you have understood up to this.